because I with this stuff. All right, you all brace yourselves. I'm gonna go live. Are we ready?
Lisa Jones is a professional gospel recording artist, which was one of her lifetime dreams as a child. She has shared the stage with various renowned gospel artists, and while all of that was fine and good, there came a time in Lisa's life as a young adult when she became tremendously complacent and bored, for lack of a better description. She began to think, there has got to be more to life than this. On February 14th, 2007, the Lord spared a life that could have easily been taken. From that point on, the Lord began to reveal to Lisa that there is definitely more in store for her life, the life that He spared. Whether it be by song or her smile or her witness to God's restoring power, she has purposed and determined in her mind to be a yielded vessel for the Master's use. Sandy Cummings is a jazz singer and coach. Her early singing career started in 1970. Sandy was born in Brooklyn, New York, and arrived in California in 1953. She lived up and down the state until college and has been in Santa Barbara since 1965. Sandy earned a bachelor in sociology and is a retired volunteer psychotherapist. Those are the facts. The journey is in between the lines. Carla C. Payne is an actor, voiceover talent, singer, and poet who currently resides in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She has appeared in countless productions for several theater companies, including Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater Company, where she most notably appeared as Bernice in their 2015 production of August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. As an accomplished vocalist, her musical genres of expertise include gospel, jazz, and music theater. Carla is also an accomplished spoken word recording artist. She continues to broaden her performance experiences and hone her craft.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes.
So happy to have all this amazingness here.
Wow.
So while I was waiting for the rest of you to come in, Lisa came in and we were trying to do sound check, and oh my God. So I asked her if she would open up the show with that, because tonight is about, us as artists and creators, how it gives us life to be able to create and give to the world. But we want to talk about what our gifts has done for us, how it's fed us. So, and then
Yes.
of course, share our story.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. I want to show you how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine. Oh, please don't take my sunshine. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. Don't take my sunshine away.
And can the church say amen? We can shut it down now.
You know what?
We can just go home. I'm just saying. Well, we are home, but find somewhere else to go. Just go.
You know what?
I think I can listen to some more of that. Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
So Lisa, tell us, why did you choose that song?
I chose that song because the Lord is my inspiration. And without him, I realized that there's no sunshine. Things can come, people can go, circumstances come our way, things happen. But if we have that anchor, we're good. It's okay. At some point, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Lisa, that was amazing.
Oh my goodness, Kylie.
I am an actor, singer, poet, voiceover artist. And primarily, as of now, currently I'm doing more acting and voiceover work. Also will do poetry when asked. I go under the pen name Spirit Lead, Lead, like the lead of a pencil.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's my thing. I also do some dance, like I do crafts. Performing arts and the arts is just kind of where I hang out.
What do I do? Well, right now, as a retired working person, I sing jazz in a local club once a month. I work with a wonderful trio, but getting there was interesting. I started in my 1970s singing, but most of the folks in my family around me didn't. No, you shouldn't be doing that. So I listened to them. And I'm married to a man who said, "Oh no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be out at night." No. So I listened to him too, and we married and raised kids, and all that was wonderful. But then he died, and I thought that was pretty rude. I was 50 years old. And,
sorry for your loss.
Yeah, there was life to be done. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was still working at the University of California. But then I got back into music, and I haven't quit since.
Share. Awesome.
Keeps me with my heart light.
So let's just talk about just a little background. Tell us your story. What's your driving force, behind what it is that you do, why you do what you do, why you love what you do. Let's start with Lisa.
My driving force is hope. And the fact that I know that there's more in store, that's a driving force. And then you asked for something else.
No, why do you do what you do? Like, I know you have a powerful testimony. So if you want to work that in right now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do what I do because I can. And I don't mean that in a cocky way. Please don't take it. I'll tell you what's going on. So on February 14th of 2007, my best friend and I were in a car accident, but it wasn't an accident. It was black ice. So the truck that we were in flipped 8 to 10 times. And yes, and I was airlifted to Good Samaritan Hospital. Fast forward a little bit, I suffered a spinal cord injury, and at the time, a whisper was me screaming. Like you would have to read my lips to know what I was saying. It was just, unless you were very close to me, to understand what I was saying or hear what I was saying. And the Lord is so faithful. Early on, while I was still in the hospital, he allowed me to dream. I dreamed that I would sing again and that I would walk again.
Come on.
And when he first told me that, a lot of times when the Lord gives us something, when we have a dream, when there's a prophecy, when there's a vision, oftentimes the reality is the polar opposite of what we see in the dream, in the vision, in the prophecy. But he's so faithful. And like I said, when I dreamt it, I was whispering, y'all, and breathing was a challenge. The doctor had when I told him that I was struggling to breathe, he had threatened to put an apparatus in to help me. And, but that's only because earlier when they brought me in, and I don't remember that. I was told that when they brought me in, I told them, you can't put anything down my throat because I'm a gospel singer.
Come on.
And I need my voice.
Yes.
And so later on, when I was struggling to breathe, the doctor was like, pretty much like, suck it up, give us your best effort, or we're going to have to help you to breathe.
Okay.
So I'm making the story real long, but okay. So long story short, I can sing again. You guys hear me talking quite, you can hear my audible voice, and God is faithful. Whatever he says he's going to do, he's going to do it. It may not happen when we want it, but he's faithful. He's so faithful, and it will come to pass.
Amen.
And so I sing, I minister, I tell of the goodness of the Lord because I can.
Come on.
Because I can. And now you see, I'm not being cocky. I'm just so excited to have another chance to be able to do the thing that I love. Like 2013, I was singing effortlessly. And February 13th of that year, it was no worries, but then just a day later, and, I'm struggling to and then to see that thing turn around and manifest is so exciting. You hear other people's ministry or miracles, and you hear their testimonies, but to walk in those shoes, it's just like, wow.
Ooh. So how often do you sing? Are you in bands? I mean,
I sing at my church weekly. I'm on the praise team.
Oh, awesome.
And I didn't tell you guys this. So before the accident, I recorded a project, and I used to sing with different people. And so I'm in the studio again. And so it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And so yes, I think.
You said you recorded a project years ago, but you are back in the studio now?
Yes.
That's awesome. What's the name of your first project?
His Promise.
His Promise. And is that on all social media outlets?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're gonna look that up.
Isn't that something? Like, before I needed to rest on His Promise, I recorded and named the album His Promise.
Oh my God.
Isn't that something? That blows my mind.
Yeah.
And then so he's made a promise, and I'm resting on it. And I know, right now I'm sitting in a wheelchair, but I know that I am going to walk independent and without any assistance. So y'all just be looking out when you see this girl walking, just be like, I know her.
Yeah.
She said it. Uh-huh.
Keep singing like that. Keep singing like that. Watch what happens. We touch and agree.
Amen.
That's powerful. Powerful.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm so inspired.
Thank you.
Yes, Sandra.
Yes.
Tell us your story.
My story is that, as I explained, when my husband died, I was sort of at the bottom of starting over. I didn't know what my life was going to be like. And I had been without music for so long in terms of just actual performance or really developing. And I went by accident to a club where my son was playing drums.
By accident?
And I asked to sit in, and because it was a jam session. And I asked the band leader, and he said, yes. He said, who's your son? I said, he's your drummer tonight. He goes, oh yeah. But it was weird because I was terrified. He said yes, but I'm heading to the stage, and I thought, are you crazy? You haven't done this in 24 years. What are you doing? What are you thinking? But there was something driving me inside.
Yeah.
The voice that, all of us are always trying to find our voice, I think.
Yes.
And often we're not heard, or we're minimized or pushed aside. And I'd spent that most of my life. So now I'm 50. I'm figuring, well, my music career is over for sure, but I can sing a song with my son. So I went up, no idea what was going to happen. Discovered something really important. And that was, while I was singing the music, I couldn't feel all the pain that I was experiencing.
Mm.
Those two things couldn't live together.
Come on, come
Because
on.
I was filling up with something else. So I got off the stage and I thought, I need to do this some more. And I just haven't looked back. I was working once a week. I thought I put a little band together. I didn't know what I was doing. And then now I'm doing that as a regular thing in a nice
You
restaurant.
put a band together?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was exposed to people and I got lucky. And I have an ear for the players that I can fit with. And I don't record because I don't record well. I'm a live entertainer. So when I go in a studio, which I have a couple of times, it's just sort of like I'm more tight than if I'm in a room full of people. So I'm much better off not recording.
Okay.
In the moment singer.
Okay. Can I ask you, is there a favorite performance you have that's like on YouTube that we can watch? We can pull up?
No.
You
I
don't have
lost everything I recorded. My computer blew up 2 weeks ago, and everything that I had, all the audio recordings were gone. I didn't like video anyway, and they were just gone. So I don't have to sing today.
Huh?
I don't have to sing today. I can
You don't
just
have to? You don't want
listen.
to?
It's just I'll listen to everybody. That's part of why I'm here.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's fine. No pressure. So is singing the main thing you do, or is there anything else that you, as far as artistic wise?
Not artist. No, I don't. I can't chew gum and walk. So I stick to one thing at a time, you know. I was a psychotherapist for 22 years. That is an artistic kind of medium where you listen and help people find themselves.
That's right.
And but it's not a performance medium, obviously.
It's not a
I don't do.
performance.
I've had 3 careers. One as an administrator at the University of California. The other was as a therapist, a volunteer for 22 years, and then music since 1998 now.
Wow. What a great story.
I'm lucky I have a retirement. You can't make money on music.
And that's another thing. It's like, you know, especially with the pandemic, you know, it's got us like trying to figure out ways as artists and musicians, trying to figure out how we're going to survive. But it's like something in me, I can't let it go and it won't let me go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so, and Carla, let's come to you because you seem to you found some other things during this pandemic, other ways of feeding yourself in your craft.
I did.
Yeah.
I still work a 9 to 5, which I am desperately trying to free myself from. And I believe wholeheartedly that I will eventually be working in the arts as well as my entrepreneurial endeavors.
Yes.
But yeah, the pandemic. So I primarily am a stage actress. And once the quarantine happened, theater shut down, everything shut down, everyone was at home. And we had to, as creatives, find creative ways to express our art. And so initially I did like a couple staged readings that we did by Zoom. Everyone was kind of trying to figure out how do we use Zoom for our, you know, for our benefit, for our arts. So I did a couple of those. And then as the world kind of, you know, we went through that we're open, but we're not sure yet phase. It's kind of when the voiceover work started for me, because I had always wanted to do more voiceover work. I did 1 or 2 things here and there.
Okay.
And I decided to research how to put a studio in my home. I bought the equipment because I was thinking, oh, that equipment has to be thousands of dollars. No, it was like $350. Bought the equipment, set up a studio. So that's how I started the voiceover work.
That's awesome.
And then also got more film work, because since audiences still weren't coming into theaters, there were more film opportunities. So I was able to do a couple features in film. So it was
incredible. Hey, you can't just wait. You can't just move on. Wait, you can't just move on like that. In film? Like what?
Right.
So Damascus Theater Collective is a collective of artists from basically the East Coast, Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, New Jersey, primarily. Some West Coast artists are involved as well. And they entered into a project. It was like a theater festival kind of thing, but it was all Zoomish, kind of like we're in this pandemic, right?
Okay.
And so we were going to do a stage thing, but we weren't sure how to do it with COVID restrictions. So they were like, okay, let's make it a film. So this project I was on became like a short documentary style film. I played a real life character of Stagecoach Mary. She was the first star coach mail carrier. And I think it was, don't get me to lie, I think 1890. It was, I can't get that, don't quote me on the year. Okay. But we ended up flying to California and got a film crew, and we did a film. And then also,
this is all during the pandemic.
This is during the pandemic.
Oh my
God!
gosh.
Like towards the end, where it was like we were semi-open, but we're not sure.
Right.
And then Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra every year does a program, Lift Every Voice. And there's usually a gospel choir, and then they'll bring in artists and things like that. And they were commissioned to do a film that Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra was going to score. So we did a short film for that, and that will air. They're going to have it in I think Heinz Hall, in October. Awesome. So I'll be in a film that's scored by the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. I just
that
can't
is
wait.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
It just came out of nowhere. I didn't have to audition. People came to me and asked for these roles. I was like, okay, God, I'll see you. Yeah.
So what, oh, you mean, so you didn't even have to go searching through a site or anything? They found you?
For the film work, they found me. One was the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra gig was from a friend of a friend. Like I knew the woman who was the DP, the director of photography. Mm-hmm. But I was Facebook friends with her sister, who I don't know as well now because I've worked with and Jamie is her name, and Jamie Najai. And she was like, yeah, I see you're friends with my sister, and I know you do theater, and I've seen some of your work. Would you be interested in this little project I'm doing? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, it's a paid gig, and you know, gave me a little bit about it. So I was like, yeah, sounds like fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, we know you're a poet, and you are a fantastic poet. Would you like to use this time to share some of your work with us?
Sure. You know, I feel pretty. Not giddy like Maria from A Story of the West Side, but slide into a pair of shoes that hues match beautifully with the African print of my dress. Pretty. Pretty as the peak of cleavage that, seen from the V of my neck, stays within the levels of respect, yet dares to declare that I am a woman. Pretty as the drape of the fuchsia fabric sways as I sashay thin hips down a concrete runway. Pretty as the scorch of the sun feels good as it lights upon the exposed mocha skin of my back just beneath my halter straps. Though my hair is twisted tightly, lying closely in sequential rows, I feel a sense of freedom. The freedom of the breeze blowing over my candy-scented shoulders. The feeling of strolling down Carolinian streets in 85 degrees with nowhere to be. The freedom of feeling. The freedom of being. Being me. Feeling pretty. Pretty.
Yes.
Thank you.
Woo!
Yes.
You all giving me goosebumps tonight.
Right?
Oh God. Well, you know what? So I don't know about you all, but I have to say, the pandemic hit me pretty bad. And I mean, I've struggled with depression most of my life, but music, God has always used music, used me as a vessel to bless people, but God has also always used it first to bring me back to life.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make myself sing again because I feel like I've been hiding since the lockdown and everything. I'm hiding. And that's kind of like why I want to, because building our community amongst artists, we nurse each other back to life. We breathe life into each other. And I started thinking about a project I did years ago, like in 1997, one of the worst bouts of depression one of them that I ever experienced. And I remember God started breathing songs through me, melodies and lyrics. And they were coming so fast, I had to walk around with a book. And I couldn't even keep up. And then somebody was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy you a recorder. And they bought the recorder and I would sing in it. And my husband at the time, I'm no longer married, but he's also an amazing musician. And I would sing to him. And it's like, again, God just started depositing how it was supposed to, how it's supposed to be played, giving him the chords and giving us a structure. Let me tell you, it was a low budget production because God told me I was going to do a recording. When that book filled up, God told me you will do a recording. And I didn't question it. I told my husband, I think God wants us to do a recording. And it was crazy that even the owner of the studio was making arrangements with us to come in and record. They were like, just give us a check and just come in and just record. Wow. Don't even worry about it. When you can pay it. Then. So this was like 1997. Do you not know when that project came out? It was called Chosen to be Blessed. And it's on all social media outlets.
Okay.
But it's nothing fancy, but it was just the spirit in the music. And people, like, that thing blew up so fast, we couldn't even keep it on the shelves. And it kept us busy we were on tour for 3 years. Our calendar just filled up, open for MC Hammer, Vicki Winans, commission. I had my own Christmas special that aired on BET. I mean, just all these things that happened. People who were sick would have their family play it for them in their hospital room. And I remember a story, one of many, where a doctor walked past the room and he came back and he was like, who is that? There's healing in that music.
Wow.
And he found me and had me come through the hospital and started singing for patients, but also like some of the people told their family members, when I die, I want that CD to be buried with me. It was incredible. So there's so much, that's the reason why we cannot stop being. And I know, like, with the pandemic, it feels like the entertainment industry, we suffered a lot on so many levels. And I almost feel like we're not as, I don't know if you all feel this way. People love what we do, but it's like the respect and the value is not quite there for the artists. I don't know, what do you all think about that?
I think that's pretty accurate.
Well, unless they learned how to live in the pandemic. And then when I came back to work in August of last year, I had double my usual audience. People were hungry for music. They just wanted to be surrounded by live music. I'm not saying I'm that good, because I'm not, but it was just remarkable. And that for me was that whole healing thing. I always feel physically changed at a cellular level when I sing. I don't know why. From the time I was a little girl, and there was something compelling me to sing. I didn't ask where it came from. I just followed that intuition. I was in my 20s before I actually got a real job doing it. But the thing is about the pandemic, for a year and a half, nothing. And I needed to sing again because I'm getting older and I needed to keep those pipes lubricated. So I found a Zoom room by accident. A friend of mine belonged to one, and he said, "Oh, you should come on." And at first, I was so intimidated because the faces are right there.
Yeah.
But I don't agree that what we suffered was the inability to do it, to connect with each other. Musicians
Yeah.
need to be in groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody else feel that way?
Yes.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Okay.
It's good to vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Carla, you have anything to add to that?
I do feel like, what it is that people often don't realize the work that goes into performing, the energy you're expelling when you perform. It's almost, I like to call it like the dance for grandma syndrome, where it's like, oh, you sing. I want you to come sing for my my Bible studies Christmas party.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So how much, do you have
Right.
budget, or what can you, oh, well, I thought, you were doing it for the kingdom or something, or like, I thought you could just, you sing, right? You don't understand.
Right.
You're absolutely right in that department. Where the salaries are concerned, forget it. It's really bad.
I mean, it's like people pay more for a sandwich. They pay more for a meal than they pay for even one song. Like 99 cents or $1.99. Do you know how much it costs just to produce one song?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Wow.
A big project. My project, my CD project is $10. The average lunch is 15. So, so it's like they don't, yeah.
So knowing our worth, living in a world, I don't know if other parts of the world, Lisa, have you traveled outside of the States?
Yes. Oh yeah.
To perform? What's the difference? Have you noticed a difference?
Oh yeah. I went to Italy and they were just so warm and inviting, and just the appreciation was enormous. And the same with Turks and Caicos. It was like they couldn't get enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was there with groups, but still, yeah, it was.
No, exactly. Because I've heard that. Like the value system is so much different.
Oh, yeah.
America is noted for having everything upside down. We pay teachers $30,000 a year and one basketball player $3 million. It's like, oh wow.
That's.
And the few artists that do make it, the few that do, are often so damaged by the amount of money that they make that they lose themselves. They do drugs or die early. There are those like yourself, Carla and Lisa, and you too, CHAR, where the music is the bread, it's the blood of life, it's everything. I think about music 24/7. I'm thinking of the next show. I don't have a show for a month, but what songs am I going to do? How will I rehearse? And it's a career that has no compensation except for the joy of it all. It is so joyous to see somebody react to the feeling of a piece of music that I do, and they're getting what I'm telling them. Yeah, that's the payoff right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
So I guess it's up to us to know our worth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Importantly. Yeah. No one can define us. No one can put a value on us. We've got to know who we are and what we bring to the world. So the topic tonight is finding joy in difficult times and using our art to do that, using our craft to do that. Each of you, what message can you give to those who may feel like giving up during this time?
A lucky thing came across my Facebook page today that kind of addresses this in an extant sort of way. The point is not, and will never be, to stop the grief or the sadness that we feel. That's like stopping the ocean. The point is to find a way to swim.
Mm,
Oh, wow.
So
Mm.
whatever you're swimming, you have found your voice, you, Lisa, and you have found several voices just through all of the mediums that you do. It's fascinating to me. And my friend Terry and I met in a jazz choir. That's why
wow.
we know each
Hi,
other.
Terry.
She's part of a gospel group herself. So
That's awesome.
I
A
think
gospel
everybody
group?
needs music. Yeah, yeah. Mama Pat's Gospel Choir from Santa Barbara, California.
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's awesome. And so Sandra, the group you found, is that Lynn's Good Hearts Club that you're
That's one
referring
of
to?
them. I'm in
One of
3
them?
or 4.
Okay.
I'm in one on Monday night that comes out of Los Angeles with Anthony Berry, who just won the one of 12 JEXA awards administered in LA for good service to the community during the pandemic.
Okay.
He held like Lynn. They just do it every week, whether we need it or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then that's how I met you, was through Lynn Colbert.
Yes. Yes.
I heard you sing.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And then there's one out of another one on that was in LA, Carrie Kelsey, who's quite good, but she's back doing live work now. So she only does them once in a while.
Okay.
They're around. All you have to do is look up.
Yeah, yeah,
Zoom
yeah.
jams, they're all around.
Nice.
And it gave me my voice back.
See, that right there gave you your voice.
Yes. Yes.
What that's
Serendipity. The serendipity of having one friend who knew I was hungering to sing. And he said, well, why don't you come here? You might enjoy it. And as scared as I was, I did it anyway. And who knows why the fear is there. But that's usually our block, isn't it?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go, oh, maybe I can't, maybe every show, even at this point in my life, after 50 years in and out of the music, I still get nervous as a cat.
Me too. I am
So
not gonna
wise.
lie.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And what I found is the choice of music that I'm doing now is more about what is the message and what is it telling people. And that's when I said I was going to do Be in Green, because it's such a hopeful message from Sesame Street. But it's something many of us never heard, is that we are okay as we are. And if self-acceptance, self-love, and I have a theory that leads to other acceptance and other love.
Yes.
That kind of feeling.
Yes. Yes.
So instead of singing, don't get, what is it? Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me, I'll find something that has a little bit more meaning to it that I can pass on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in that stage of life where it's time to give back. It's time to enlighten others to putting down the swords and lifting up hearts.
Yeah. Woo. Putting down the swords and lifting up hearts. Love that. Love that. Carla, thanks, Sandra, for sharing. Any words of encouragement to those who maybe, want to give up?
Yeah.
Not just give up on life, but, give up on, well, I mean, our art is our lifeline,
Right. I am careful to approach the topic because I never want to minimize what that must feel like to want to give up. I never want to give advice that feels easier said than done.
Right, right.
Because I've never been in that position of wanting to give up. But what has helped me in times when I have been low is gratitude. So instead of looking at what you don't have or what the current situation is, what do you have? I'm thankful that I'm still breathing. I'm thankful that I can still see. I'm thankful that, I have a roof over my head, or I'm thankful that someone has allowed me to sleep on their couch for whatever that thing is that you still have. If you're still breathing, you still have something.
Yeah.
So to focus on gratitude.
Gratitude. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Lisa?
I would say, if I were talking to someone that wanted to give up, I would simply let them know that they need to take it moment by moment, sometimes second by second, and know that better is coming. And it's not going to always be this way. So like Carla was saying, enjoy. This has been my thing. Enjoy whatever it is, the glimpse of light that you see in the darkness. Enjoy the fact that if you don't have a meal, you're hungry, because some people aren't hungry. They don't have food and they're not hungry. Or if you have food, thank God for the food.
Mm-hmm.
You have children, thank God for the children. Just whatever it is, be grateful for that, and just know that better is coming, and enjoy right now, because it's not going to always be this way. And then it's not going to always be this way.
Right.
If you're in a bad situation, it's not going to always be that way. And if you're on the top of the mountain, it's not going to necessarily always be that way. But we have to take the valleys with the peaks, and hold on to that glimpse, and just that glimpse of ray of sunshine, or whatever it is that keeps us going. We have to, and call on the name of Jesus. That's
All right. All right.
he is the anchor. He will come in and just swoop you up, and it may not happen all at once, but it will happen.
Yeah.
And you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. I don't know if anyone's going to look at this and think, oh, this girl is talking about the Lord all night, but
it's okay.
He's been my source, and I can only talk from where I know. And there have been times when I've been in the valley. There have been times when it felt like it wasn't going to get any better. There were times when I wanted to cry all night, all day, all night, all week, all year, But there was just a resilience that I can't explain, that even in the midst of the pit, he just has a way of reminding you that you're not alone. Even if it's, you could be in a mall, or you could be driving, and somebody will intentionally smile at you. People don't have to smile at you. They don't have to, they can say, hi, how are you doing? They don't have to care how you're doing.
Right. That's right.
So for them to we have to be open to just see and hear the voice of the Lord, and see that he is reaching out, and that, he's with us, and things will get better.
Yes. Thank you for that. That's so good. Because, as I mentioned, when God started breathing those songs through me, one of the songs is titled Smile.
Yeah.
And I'm actually have an ear and a sinus infection, so it's been difficult for me to sing, but I was trying to think if I could sing a little bit of it. Though the storm is raging and your heart is aching, just keep right on singing. You can make it another day. Smile.
Yes.
Smile now. Smile. Even when you're feeling down. Yeah. And that's one of the that is one of the songs that has actually, like, the most loved. And it's so simple. It's such a simple message, but just a smile. I mean, what the Bible talks about, merry heart is like medicine.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about, who's it? Regina King's son, who just took his own life.
Yeah.
And I hear he was an amazing artist.
Wow.
And there was was it a Miss USA or?
Yes, Miss Universe, right?
Was it Universe?
Something like that.
Does anybody know about that story? I don't know what happened. I actually, it was too much. I couldn't even read it. I couldn't read it. Hillary, you
I
know?
just, I
Oh,
know she
Carla, you
took her
know?
life, but I don't know the detail. And I want to say she jumped.
Oh God.
So
Yes.
it was horribly tragic
And
way.
beautiful, just beautiful, which is why I wanted to do this show. Because I guess, musicians, artists, we're empaths. We feel everything. Like, I don't know about you all. I don't need to watch the news to know that something
Yeah.
is not right.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wake up, there's tears coming out my eyes. There's a heaviness in the air. I can feel it. If
yeah.
things are going well in the universe and there's balance, I feel joyful and I'm up and I'm just, and we just got to keep building that community and encouraging each other. And I'm going to put Hillary. Hillary is not on the panel, but we just did an interview with her, and she is an amazing artist as well, singer songwriter, and she's only released one song. But we interviewed her, and she's a nurse, and she shared her story going through what it's been like serving through the pandemic. It just made me cry. So beautiful, but how now she's moving into creating, finding that balance as a creative to work on her songs. You want to share a little bit?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I kind of had the opposite experience. It took COVID to make me push out my first song. I pushed out my first song, gave birth to my first release. I've been writing songs for years, but I gave birth to my first release right in the middle of COVID.
Wow.
Good job.
Right in the middle of COVID. It was like, sometimes we think it's a whirlwind to destroy us, but sometimes it's a whirlwind that we got to just spread our wings up and catch it and ride it so we can get where we got to go. Sometimes the best time to do something is in the middle of chaos.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
another word right there.
It's like
That's
just that's because what have you got to lose?
Right.
Right.
Wow.
Wow. So you
that's
share
how
a
my
little.
life is anyways. That's what I do. I've kind of got that's how I live. Like, is when something really bad goes wrong, that's when I get to work.
Because you just started singing again. Like, it's been years since you sung.
No, I've been singing, but I hadn't been releasing any of the songs that I was writing.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what? These musicians can't play because there ain't no church. They can't go nowhere. I'm getting ready to lock some folks down and get this out.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear.
It was a song about COVID.
We've been
Perilous
sort of
times,
raised up
right?
to think that we have to be discovered, that somebody finds us and then does for us.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
think the single biggest thing we have to do is start to take charge of our own
Yes.
destinies.
Yes.
And that's part of, but I fell into it by accident, just wanting to sing one song with my kid. And for me, success is just doing it.
That
It's
is
not about being
awesome.
famous. It's not about recording. It's
No.
about being able to share. And I got really lucky, but you make your own luck by being prepared and having a relationship with one musician who knows 10 others.
Yes,
And pretty
yes,
soon,
yes.
you have a gathering. The music has been singularly important to me surviving.
Yeah.
Many chances to not survive. And I had ovarian cancer. I lived through that. I had spinal meningitis. I was in a coma for 3 days. They thought they were going to lose me. I had spinal myelitis. It's just I kept fighting through all of these things. There must be a reason for me to be here.
Yeah.
My husband's gone, my mother's gone, my father's gone. So I'm alive for some reason. I haven't figured it out yet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When things come my way, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I am so grateful. We're talking about gratitude.
Yeah.
I go, wow. I got to sing for Harry Belafonte one time.
What?
Well, it was a
Oh,
thing that they were honoring here in Santa Barbara. And they went through like 15 bands in a week trying to find somebody who's going to to perform for him. And they landed on me. And I said, well, I can do this. Yeah, right. This was about 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
I had the good fortune to sing at an event. It was a fundraiser with Bill Clinton was a keynote speaker.
wow.
But it's not even about politics. It's like, how many chances in your lifetime
You get that?
to sing
Yes.
for a past sitting president?
Right.
Never. So I'm not, nobody knows me. It's okay. I don't care if I'm a famous name or making mega bucks. The only thing I would have done with it is give it away. But the idea that I can actually still sing at 74 years old in a nightclub and for people to feed and all that, that's quite remarkable. And
Yes.
I had a 20-year-old kid in the room yesterday or Sunday and said to me, "You're inspiring." I said, because he quit singing. He quit. He was like 25.
Wow.
I said, "What'd you quit for?" Well, I said, "No, I don't know. I don't understand." If people have to find that light in themselves, what do you love the most?
Right
Yes.
there. Find the light in yourself.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
and you find that where that light is, the thing that makes you not hum music, but just your motor's going right. You know, you wake up and yeah, this is going to be a good day. And off you go. We all do work-a-day things, right? When I was a therapist, I dealt with patients who were suicidal. And so I would say to them, I'm here for you. And the only way this work is going to work is if you promise me you're going to be here too. We're going to work on this together. You're not alone. And I wasn't responsible for that life, but I wanted that life to know that somebody cared enough to be here in the pits with them. And if we could do that as neighbors, as friends, as acquaintances, like you talk about the smile, you'll smile at somebody, they'll smile back.
Yeah.
So you guys are really on top of all that already. CHAR, you obviously had your high motivator, and
Say that again.
You had your high motivator, Carla and Lisa. You all knew what you were doing. I kind of stumbled into all this. It was one accident after another.
But you know what? But I'm kind of there too. Like I did stumble into, like, I've always been singing. I started singing since I was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, like, it just gave me life. It did something beautiful. It's like my past is pretty dark, but that was my lifeline. It gave me a reason to smile, gave me a reason to breathe. And it's kind of like God was always pushing me, pushing me out there. I'm like, no, and teachers in school, oh my God. Like, I'd be so afraid all the time, shaking, sweating, practically in tears. And one of my favorite stories when I was little, when I was elementary school, and the teacher, the choir teacher, the chorus teacher, she amazing woman, just very elegant. She played the piano, and she gave me a part because the person who was supposed to sing it, something, I don't remember, laryngitis or something. And she had heard me sing. I was never trying to be heard. I was comfortable just being back with the choir. And she heard me sing and she said, "You're going to do this part." The lead. And so I would be like shaking. But the day of the concert, because before in the classroom, I would stand beside the piano. And that was my, it was comfort for me to be close to her. The stage, when it came time for me to be singing on the stage, the microphone was all the way out in the front. The choir was all the way back. She was all the way to the side. And I'm standing there, my voice is quivering and it's not making sense. I'm not hitting the notes right. And I remember my brother was the only one that was in the audience to support me. There was like a room full of people, but my brother, so I tried to find encouragement through him, and I looked directly at him, and all I saw was him.
Shrink it down.
He was embarrassed.
It
Oh,
was that bad. He
oh my
shrunk
God.
in his seat, like, oh my gosh. And so when we got to the end of the song, people were like, and she got
Oh,
up. She brought me back up to the mic and she said to the audience, I've heard her sing and she's amazing and I want her to do it again. And I'm about to cry. She brought me over to the piano to stand in the spot that I was used to rehearsing in. And she made me sing it again. Night and day, night and
Wow.
day. But just to have those people who support you and know your value, know your worth, and keep calling you out to be better, to do,
Yeah.
to be who you are. And that's what we need to do for one another. Terry, can we hear from you? Because you're in a gospel choir. Tell us a little bit about that. Yes.
Okay. Hi. Well, Sandy told me about this gathering, and
Thanks for
I thought, well,
joining.
I thought, well, I'd like to be a part of it, to be there to support Sandy and to just help acknowledge that she has been so supportive of me. Yes, we have a gospel choir here in town that was founded in 1980 by Mama Pat when she moved here from Los Angeles. And we, of course, have been on hiatus for these last couple of years. But I joined the choir in 1994 after a really traumatic experience for me in my life. And to say that it was night and day for me, the music and the connection that I felt, I felt filled up, and like I knew that I could move forward from this challenging time. And so Mama Pat's passed away now for about 10 years, but we've continued with the choir, and through the choir I've made many friends and learned lots of music and had lots of opportunities. And we do it because we love it. It's not because it's a source of income or notoriety or anything like that, but it's a place where it speaks to our soul and our being, and because it's music, and it reaches us in a way that other language can't.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you said that the music, being a part of this, brought you through a really difficult time.
Yes, I'd actually had I ended up having a hysterectomy. I was 32. At the time, it was a surgery. Of course, I had known about. Just in general, this is something that sometimes women go through. And for years, I'd had this sort of premonition fear that this was going to be something I would deal with. And I was pre-afraid. I was like, already anticipating the fear and the anguish and the trauma of needing to deal with it. And when the doctor came to my hospital room after having been in the hospital already for 10 days, them not really knowing what was going on for me, and he says, "This is what we're recommending." And there was this immediate sense of grief, of loss, of the unknown. Okay, so what does all this mean now? So it was after the surgery. I was home from the hospital, and I was still in recovery, still feeling weakness and tired and incomplete. Not just because I had body parts removed. There was like something else that just something that had an emptiness. So Mama Pat actually had a class through our adult ed here in town. And so I thought, well, maybe I could do that. You know, one evening a week, maybe I could go and do that. And I came home after that first class in the evening, and I went to my mother and I said, I just got to do this again. And so so it started out with this class that Mama Pat had, and so I've been with this group now since 94. So yeah. And
you didn't grow up singing gospel music at all?
No. You know, we always had music in the church, and but the approach was different. It was more controlled, more sedate. It didn't it spoke of joyfulness and release, but it like didn't allow for it within the church setting. And so, and some of that has changed over years now in other churches, more, you know, other Protestant churches in particular. But there was something in the gospel tradition that allowed for a deeper expression, a more free expression of the lyric and the reacting to the instruments and the those who played the organ and the piano and the drums, etc., and even encouraged it. And so it allowed for a different kind of being within the music. And it just it really just continues to speak to me, and allows my connection even in other music to be more expanded and more it kind of allowed me to get out of my own way, and allow myself to not always feel as self-conscious. Although, as Miss Sandy will tell you, that she has to encourage me often to just do the thing that I obviously really love. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. You show up. So
Do you guys
great.
have that feeling in your chest sometimes, the singers? Where
Say that again?
It's the feeling that you get I got a feeling in my chest. I just feel like sometimes it's so filled up that it's going to explode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The music is so rich, and then I see the faces of the people who are receiving, and there's sort of a synergy that's going on, a reciprocity of giving and taking, and giving and taking, and it's just you know, it's like being in church, except it's not church. It's my
Oh, but it is. It is.
Yeah.
That's right. To encourage people to take that step and don't give up and keep breathing.
I can't think of anything in particular. I would just say, just keep going, keep showing up, showing up.
Yeah. You know what? This is the second day in a row that I had a conversation with somebody this in the morning, and you come and you say the same thing I said in the evening. I'm not even making that up.
Whoa.
2 different conversations, 2 different people.
Yeah.
Confirmation.
That's it.
Just show up. Just
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Oh, thank you for
I
being
feel
here. All of
God
you.
is able to do just what he said he will do. He's going to fulfill every promise that he's ever given to you. So don't give up on God, because he won't give up on you. Please don't give up on God, because he won't give up on you. He's able. He's able. Hold on. There's more in store. We are here for a reason.
Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, somehow we found each other. You're
And
in
all of us. Like it's
Yes.
like, you know, when the divine brings certain, just the way things just come together, the way people come together.
Yeah.
And I just listen. I'm just, you know, everybody that knows me knows I'm not as comfortable speaking as I am singing. But this is one of those things where it's just like, I had to do it. It was an instruction that was given to me by God. And it's amazing how many people are being blessed by it, how many lives are being blessed by it. So I appreciate you guys for being a part of this. Thank you, Carla, for stepping in at the last minute.
Yes.
I called her last night.
Thanks
Yes.
for having me.
Oh, you added so much. Love everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Okay.
It was so inspiring. I love you all.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.